Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to bring you a review of a movie that came out a few weeks ago, but I figured I would get on here to talk about, especially because it fits right into spooky season, and that is It's What's Inside, written and directed by Greg Jardin. And I don't want to say too much about this film and what it's about, but I will give you the setup at least. This couple goes to the party of their friends who's getting married the next day, and they reunite with a lot of their friends from college. One of them comes by they haven't seen in a while, and shenanigans ensue. I don't really want to give you too much more beyond that, because this is one of those movies where I say you go in as cold as possible, because I knew little to nothing about this movie. And walking out of it, what am I talking about? I was sitting on this couch watching it. But besides the point, when it concluded, I was just absolutely buzzed about it, because every single twist and turn that this movie makes was so thoroughly surprising, yet made sense for the story that was unfolding in front of me. I think that It's What's Inside is one of the most visually bold and audacious films of the entire year. I mean, just its utilization of long takes, match cuts, wipes, split screens, etc., etc. It is just so unbelievably visual and stimulating, you could say, and I don't think I've ever seen any movie quite like this one, and I think that this is why it stands out so much to me from a directorial standpoint, as does Greg Jardin as a writer, because this script is so tightly woven, it will blow your mind. Now, I'm not saying everybody is going to be into necessarily the characters in this film, but let me say something, make a bit of a comparison here. This is like bodies on crack. So that's all I'm giving you in regards to tone and what the plot is. But I feel like it is just so much more richly written. These characters have so many budding conflicts throughout the story that all come to head in these very elaborate character arcs that just really blew my mind. I'm like, how is anyone writing this? And I will say you really have to remember a lot of the names, well actually all the names of the characters in the story, because it is very, very precise, and it really necessitates your constant attention, which is fine, because I think any great movie, or any movie in general, should be doing that, right? So I don't think it's too much to ask for, and even if you can't quite keep up, I assure you that the screenplay has that covered in spades. Like, it knows exactly what it's doing with each character, and it leads to some of the most shocking revelations, some of the most petty arguments that happen throughout the movie, because as I said, I don't think these characters are necessarily likable, but that's really not the point. It's how these characters interact with each other, and how willing are you to go along with what they're doing on screen. And I was certainly all for it. I mean, give me a good dosage of toxicity and I'm watching. I mean, Challengers, I think we can all agree, was one of the best movies of the year, and I think that this kind of has some similar elements, and that's all I'll say in that regard, because this is one of those movies that you really have to go in as blind as possible. Like I said, I hope I didn't give away too much to the story, but I was just so blown away at how thrilling this was throughout the entire movie. It's a great horror comedy in all the best ways, and I just think it is such a blast to watch from start to finish. This is legitimately one of my favorite movies of the year. I really mean it, because it is so distinct and so visual. Now, if there are some criticisms I do have with it, I think that there's this voiceover that occurs at the beginning of the movie and throughout that was a little unnecessary and kind of grating, if I'm being honest. And I originally thought when it started, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to love this, but I mean, my concerns evaporated almost immediately, because the dialogue was so good and the writing for all these characters was absolutely exceptional. But I also find the ending to be, I think it makes perfect sense within the context of the story, but I think it definitely derails some of the momentum that was building up to said climax. And so, I don't know. I mean, there are still some great, gotcha moments that just feel like screenwriting 101 by the end of the story, but I do think maybe they could have packaged it in a little bit better of a way. Even so, it does make perfect sense, like I said, within the context of the framework of this film. And I just think that this is one of those movies, if I watch it again, there's going to be so much more I'm going to appreciate. The way they foreshadow things, the way they set up these certain dynamics between these characters. And it is just an absolute thrill ride. Like I said, a perfect film to watch at this time of year, which is why I knew I had to get on here and talk about it. Just because of that and the fact that it is one of the best movies I think you might see this year. Watch this with your friends. Grab some soda, grab some food. I'm not saying that you should, kill yourself over a movie, but even so, I think it would be fun to just kind of soak this in and have some people around you. I'm really surprised that Netflix didn't put this out in theaters, because this seems like a perfect movie to watch in a crowd, and I'm sure the crowd at Sundance was absolutely buzzing, because I think this was the highest sale at the entire festival, and I'm really not surprised, because honestly, it might be one of my favorite movies to come out of the Sundance Film Festival this year, if not my favorite. So yeah, guys, I'm going to give It's What's Inside a strong 9 out of 10. I really, really love this movie from start to finish, and I think that a lot of you will too. I think at the very least you'll all really enjoy it and what it is doing, or at least I hope so, because this is just one of the most bold films this year, and I'm really glad to see Jardin get his chance at directorial debut here, because I loved his short, I believe it's called Floating, that I saw back in film school. So it's really nice to finally see him get that opportunity and really seize the moment here, because I really did love this film. And I also love the entire cast, because they are absolutely exceptional, and I didn't say that already, but I really do have to mention them, because what they're doing in this film is so specific, and I think it's really, really hard to pull off, especially with all the things going on in the story, but I think they do it with flying colors. So yeah, guys, that's my review of What's Inside. What did you think of the film? What did you think of all the twists and turns? I mean, please try to, if you do want to talk about spoilers, put up a spoiler, because we don't want to spoil this movie for anyone, like I said, but I would love to hear what you think about it regardless. And please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, be prepared for more movie reviews coming down the pipeline. Still got to see what's going on. I'm going to get to Seed of the Sacred Fig next, so please stay on the lookout for that. And so much more. I will talk to you guys very soon.